Hello everybody. I'm not going to be able to give the normal Drasha that I give in Shul, but I wanted to share with you our brief thoughts on this week's Parsha. The Torah in this week's Parsha tells us that the Mishkan, the tabernacle, was built by people who were Chachmei Leiv, people who are wise of heart. What does it mean to be a Chacham Leiv? To be someone who is wise of heart? We know what it means to be wise. We know what it means to have a good heart. But how do those two things go together? The Gemara in Brachos tells us that Hashem gives Chachma, Hashem gives His wisdom to those who are already wise. The obvious question is, if Hashem only gives Chachma to people who are already wise, then how does a person become wise in the first place? Reb Chaim Shmulevitz explains so beautifully. He says that true wisdom, true Chachma, starts not in the brain, but in the heart. When a person truly desires Chachma, when a person truly desires wisdom, then Hashem will grant that person wisdom. And once he's granted that wisdom, then Hashem will continue to grant him more and more wisdom. And it's not only true with wisdom, it's true with all acts of divine service as well. Whenever a person desires something, whenever a person truly wants something, Hashem will grant it to him. When a person desires to connect to Hashem more, Hashem grants that wish, because He sees that the desire is truly there. What a powerful lesson for the situation that we now find ourselves in. All the ways that we normally serve Hashem have been taken away from us. We can't daven together and shul with a minyan. We can't learn together with other people as we normally do. Our children are not learning in school the way they normally do. And we can't interact with other people and do acts of kindness and help each other in the normal way that we're so accustomed and we so love to do. But there's one thing we can do. We can show our desire to Hashem. We can show our desire that we so desperately want these things back. We want to reopen our shuls so that we can once again daven together to Him. We want to reopen our schools so that our children can go back to school and they can learn the way that they're supposed to. We want to be able to study together Hashem's Torah as a group once again. And we want to be able to have all those wonderful interactions that we have with other people, doing acts of kindness, showing our appreciation to other people, cheering other people up, that we're now no longer able to do. When we show that deep desire that we have, Hashem will surely grant our wish. I want to share with you a story. There was a point in history where there was a terrible epidemic. It affected many, many people. It affected people all over the world. The entire world was put in a state of confusion. It was a very dark time. The future was unknown. Schools were closing. Shuls were closing. People were locked up in their houses. Nobody knew what to do. But did the learning stop? Did the davening stop? No, it didn't. Instead of davening in shul, people took it upon themselves to daven at home. Instead of learning together in person as they'd used to, people began to learn on Zoom, on Facebook, on WhatsApp, with conference calls. Schools which until now had been just brick and mortar schools instantly turned into virtual schools so that the learning could in fact continue. My friends, we're living in that story right now. We don't need to hear a story about someone else. We are the story. We're the story that they're going to talk about in 10, 20, 50, 100 years. That even when the whole world shut down, davening didn't stop, learning didn't stop, acts of chesed, acts of kindness, for sure, did not stop. We're doing amazing. We're doing great. We're showing Hashem that He can take everything away from us, but we still want to serve Him. We still want to do all the things that we so love doing in His name. We're going to continue our davening. We're going to continue our learning. We're going to continue our chesed. And when we truly show Hashem that we so desperately want to serve Him, that we want things to go back to normal, so that we can serve Hashem not in the limited fashion that we're doing so now, but in full capacity that we're so accustomed to doing, Hashem will surely grant our wish, and He will end this dark time and bring us light in the very near future. Thank you.